Hello, hello. God bless, God bless. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. God bless. Hello, my name is Jhoany. I'm a prophet of God through our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Welcome. Glad you could make it. So, before I get into your messages, we are going to pray. So let's pray. Padre nuestro. Padre nuestro que estás en los cielos, santificado sea tu nombre. Vengas a nosotros tu reino. Hágase tu voluntad en la tierra como en el cielo. Danos hoy nuestro pan de cada día. Perdona nuestras ofensas como también nosotros perdonamos a los que nos ofenden. No nos dejes caer en la tentación y líbranos del mal. Amén. All right. So, this word is just to tell you that a word came to pass. And it's amazing when a word comes to pass and you're in sync with God. And God will send angels to either pass the message along, to give you the confirmation, to let you know that your intuition is right. So I don't know who this is for, but here it goes. Someone intended to hurt you. I'm going to explain how. Someone thought that by ghosting you or withholding communication, withholding their support, was going to, in a sense, penalize you. Their intention was to hurt you with that simple action of standing back and doing nothing, letting you drown, essentially, letting it play out however they wanted, knowing that they could have been more supportive, knowing that it could be a lot of reasons. Knowing that their support would help you, right? So they use it as leverage. If I withhold my support, I keep my stature, you stay down there, it's all good. That was this person's intention. And it's crazy because I was wondering, I was like, what's going on? This person doesn't want to talk. This person doesn't want to come around. And I was, relationships are difficult, but they shouldn't be this difficult. It takes two mature people. And you start questioning yourself. That's a demon trying to cause what? Confusion. Right? What is Satan? The author of what? Confusion, of chaos. And then Angel said something that came very, very, very true. Although this person tried to withhold their support or communication, although this person's intention was to hurt you, for every day they ghosted you, God blessed you. Amen. And it is so true. I was like, wait, you're right. I was so busy being blessed that I didn't really have time to maybe musk in sadness or contemplate, right, in confusion. I was so busy being blessed. And that's what happens. Remember that every time someone has an ill intention towards you and you're God's child, God's not going to allow their idea of demise or destruction. The karma is going to be to level you up. Amen. And it's so true. For every day, I'm telling you, for every day this person ghosted me, it was like I was getting blessed nonstop. In what way? In what way? I'll share a few. I found a new place to stay. That was great. Found some new connections, right? That was good. New opportunities. Every day I didn't go without. I had and some. It was like, God, I need this. And I was like, well, I kind of need this, or I kind of want this. And I go to the store, or look around, and I was like, God, that's too much. I don't have it. And then boom, hey, don't worry about it. Why? Yeah, just take mine. Are you sure? Yeah, no, you're good. Really? Being blessed back to back to back to back to back endlessly, and it's not gonna stop. Now, the word of caution that I'm receiving in my spirit, amen, right now, is that as you level up, as God is leveling you up, remember, all the glory belongs to who? To God. God put it in those people's hearts. Every time you prayed for something, it's coming through. Everything is coming through. You have to understand that this person withheld from you with intention to hurt you. Communication, a shoulder, emotional support, whatever you want to call it. You can even say maybe this person's withholding, like in my case, maybe financial, right, support. There's so many different ways, but God will make a way out of no way. He'll get the glory in all of it. Now, what's sitting in my spirit so heavy, I'm sorry I keep getting off track, is that you have a responsibility to God. Yes, you have a forgiving heart, but there will come a time where you're going to manifest some serious blessings. And it's up to you to say no. Remember how you did me? Nah, you can watch from the sidelines, remember. That's where you wanted to be. Yeah, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough because these are going to be people that you love. These are people that have love for you. And the other thing that angel said, which came to pass, and because I can see in the spirit, amen, because my eyes are blessed to see, is that this person allowed themselves to be utilized by Satan. This person allowed themselves to operate, I need to say, under like a dark or shadow self. This person wanted to inflict on you. Their spirit wanted to inflict upon your spirit. And it's so crazy because I didn't have time to cry about it. Yeah, a little emotional about it, of course. You know, like, what is going on? Why is this happening? Okay, oh, sorry, I got this to do. But every day, God made sure to bless me. Every day, God made sure to have something else prepared for me. And you have to understand that your light is going to trigger demons. Your light, you can see where light is going. Amen. Amen. You can see light travel. So you have to understand that maybe even at your lowest, or maybe when you've had like a glory day, I need to say that. I don't know why I have to say that. When like you reminisce on a glory day, you have to understand that people see your potential. People see that light. People can see, like, people see your manifestation. People can see like what you're capable of, right? And you're not playing. You're true about it. You're serious. Whatever you put your mind to, you're gonna get it done. You have to understand that these demons can see light travel. And I need to say this, the darkness cannot coexist with the light. The light overshadows it. Amen. Wow. It didn't occur to me what was happening. Once I found out what happened, I was like, oh God, you're really telling me that. Yeah, back to back to back, I can't escape the word. So I don't know if you've been ghosted, if a relationship that was meant to be prosperous, whether it's intimate, whether it's business, professional, a job opportunity, whatever it is, you have to understand that some people see where you're going. Some people see that they don't know what, but they know it's something awaits you. Something awaits you. Something better. And they really feel, I don't want to say entitled to it, no. They really feel that they can, in a way they can delay or they can stop it. God said no. It belongs to you. God loves you. You love God, right? Love the God, thy Lord, with all your heart. Bless the Lord's holy name, and he will bless you in return. Could I do better? We all can. But is that like my intention? That I know, right? You know in your heart that God is real. You know that there's a God working on your behalf. You know that, like, if you die tomorrow, if you drop, like, Lord, forgive me. Like, I know there's a higher power that I have to answer to, right? Like, someone who hasn't seen, right? And is righteous, and God knows that they're being watched by another entity, which is what? God. Father God, the Almighty, the most powerful, the living God, right? You understand that there's something coexisting with you, a power that is higher than you. Amen. Watching everything you do. You have to understand that these demons are so blinded, they don't operate like that. They don't operate like that. I don't know why I have to share like that deep in the spirit. Ugh. It's almost I have a vision right now. Okay, I'll share the vision. This is all over the place. You have to understand that to the human body, the human mind, the supernatural, if you don't prepare yourself for it, if you don't prepare yourself for that higher power to operate, it's going to scare you. Now, the vision that I have is Lord Jesus walking in his robe, and you have to understand that all he has to do is walk past the lamp or a light and it'll turn on. Just with his hand. Not even with his hand, he could just look at it. He could turn around and, like his intention, he'll say it and it'll turn on. That's supernatural power. Some people will think of it as magic, black magic, blah, blah. Because just like the Lord said, there's scripture that there's demons that can replicate this type of supernatural power or magic. But it's nothing compared to Lord Jesus and what he's capable of doing. You have to understand that if you saw that, right? If you saw someone who could turn on, right, like telepathy, or like turn on the light switch without doing anything like that, right? Without physically doing it, just with their hand, right? Or move cars, or like X-Men or some shit. It would terrify you. Excuse me. It really would be like, oh my gosh. Because you know that a higher power is working. That's what Lord Jesus is like. And if you don't prepare yourself for that kind of encounter sometimes, it can scare you. I don't know why I have to share that, but I just know that to the human in our mortal bodies, it's scary. It's so scary. I'll never forget when I saw Jesus and how big he was. I'll never forget when I saw Archangel Michael. Amen. I'll never forget the wingspan. The wingspan of one side of the wings of Archangel Michael was the size of my 2-car garage at the time. I couldn't believe it. But I can tell you that I felt safe. I can tell you that I was in submission. I can tell you that I didn't even know a Hail Mary at the time, but I just knew that I was praying to God. And that my prayer pierced the cloud. And ever since then, I submitted to the Holy Spirit. I received the Holy Spirit. My eyes have been blessed to see ever since, and I keep the power. With that being said, you have to understand that you hold that light. You hold that light. There's something so special about you. And I don't know who's intending to inflict pain on you. I'm so sorry. but understand that it's not God's plan. So take this as your confirmation, right? It takes two to tango. Don't force it. Don't force it. Learn to just to say peace. And because to be honest, I don't really know how to say peace with certain things. I know how to make peace with God, but I don't know how to make peace with certain things. And it was like God was blessing me so much to the point where like I had no choice but to pick up the blessings. That's amazing. You have to understand that I had little to nothing, and every day God is giving me more. Every day God is sending people to like fill me and bless my cup. And I'm telling you, like nothing, like account in the negative, nothing. And God is sending people. Nah, don't worry about it. Nah, I got you. Nah, you're good. What? No, you're fine. Are you sure? Nah, I can't. Just go away. It's you know, and I come with the best that I have, and it's God is putting it in people's heart because God sees that you're trying. And here's the thing, right? Closed mouths don't get fed. So it's important that you speak up about what you need. And here's the thing, once you make that communication to someone about what you need, and they're not willing to, they're withholding their support, communication, whatever it is that you need, what you're asking for, go somewhere else. Better awaits. Just understand that they allowed themselves to be used by an entity that is what? The Antichrist. They're not for your highest good. I hate to say it that way, but it's true. Especially because you understand that you're chosen. I need to say this. You, my dear, are chosen. You, my dear, have a generational curse to break. You, my dear, my beloved. You, my beloved, are God's instrument for such a time as this. I don't know why I have to say it like that. You are chosen for such a time as this. You have to understand that God will keep you alive. God will keep you alive for a certain time as long as you're doing His will. I don't know who needs to understand that, but sometimes God's gonna bless you sometimes I'm like, God bless me for my grandkids. God bless me, you know, prosper me for the sake of the Mulero household, right? My maiden name. And sometimes God is like, no, I need to bless you. I need to use you now. So humble yourself. Watch this. Okay, these are my people, right? Or God will bless you for such a time that in 5 years, you're meant to lift up someone else in a way that changes their whole life. Their whole life. Right? Like sometimes it is like that. This person hasn't done anything good their whole life, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, God kept them alive for such a time as this. Just to make sure that you could bless this one person and change their life. The trajectory of that blessing is going to be unlike anything else. So you have to understand that God's going to put you in a position. And you have to be able to receive that position with obedience. I don't know who that's for, but I receive it. Amen. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden. Amen. All right. Initially, I wanted to go into Revelation. So, as always, we read the beginning, the prologue. So, the revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him, to shew unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John, who bare record of the word of God, and of the testimony of Jesus Christ, and of all things that he saw. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. Amen. Alright. Bear with me here, because I don't know which one. Holy Spirit, lead the way. Visions of judgment. Okay. It's visions of judgment. Alright, let's begin. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, Go your ways, and pour out the vials of the wrath of God upon the earth. Oh, that's what he was saying? Okay. Okay, no, I need to say it now. So I was asking God, I was like, God, how come when someone dies and like there's tombstones, why does everyone all of a sudden assume or come to God, right? People come to God in death. Spiritual death, physical death. But why do people automatically assume that someone's with God? Some people are believers, and remember, you could be a believer, you could be a priest and still go to hell. So what makes people all of a sudden so at peace with the idea? The chance to get into heaven. But God's wrath is very real. And here's the thing, the wicked. Oh, that was okay. That was in Bible study. Thank you. In the book of Job. The wicked always have more. They're greedy. They escape punishment. Their money, their gold, their silver gets them out of everything. They plot. They do so much to oppress others. And they escape God's wrath on earth. They don't go hungry. They don't go without. They lack nothing. But God's people, why do your people suffer? That's in the book of Job. That's me paraphrasing. But I had the same question. God, what makes some of these people so sure that once someone dies, that they just go into heaven? And you got to understand, these are some foul people. I was like, God, do you really love all of us like that? That you're just willing to reclaim everyone and forgive? I hate to tell you this, but no, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. I've been to heaven. I've been to heaven. I saw the book of life. I saw the king. It's not a gate. It's more like a force field, but I was there. And I could tell you, not everyone gets in. Actually, not everyone can even find it. So let's see the visions of judgment. I don't know why I have to read this, but I'm just following the Holy Spirit. Continuing, and I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, Go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of God upon the earth. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth. And there fell a noisome, grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. And the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as the blood of a dead man, and every living soul died in the sea. I was so happy to hear that someone came to God. Someone finally came to God. And they asked me a question. They asked about the rapture and the angels that are under the Euphrates River. And here's the thing. Man can't see the angels. When it happens, there's a lot of us that aren't going to be able to see. Even the Lord, if he wants to block my eyes. I've seen them though. I've seen them fly. I've seen them. Amen. In Jesus' name. Well, I see it. And I was like, bro, you don't want to see it. That was essentially the conversation. Because it's going to be so terrifying. Just as big as Archangel Michael was when I saw him. When these angels come out to pour vials upon the earth. You're not blessed to see, but it's happening. So we're going to continue. And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of waters, and they became blood. And I heard the angel of the waters say, Thou art righteous, O Lord, which art and wast and shalt be, because thou hast judged thus. For they have shed the blood of saints and prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy. And I heard another out of the altar say, Even so, Lord God Almighty, true and righteous are thy judgments. And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. And men were scorched with great heat, and blasphemed the name of God, which hath power over these plagues, and they repented not to give him glory. And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, and his kingdom was full of darkness. And they gnawed their tongues for the pain, and blasphemed the God of heaven, because of their pains in their sores, and repented not of their deeds. I need to say this. Do you know how you blaspheme God? When you use the Lord's name in vain, that's blaspheme against God. When you hear people say, God damn it, I don't use that term, so forgive me. That's not me. Jesus effing Christ, you hear it. Blaspheme against God. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates. Okay, yeah, this is definitely it. Okay. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, and the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. Three unclean spirits come out of the mouth of the dragon, the beast, and the false prophet. For they are the spirits of the devils, working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of the great day of God Almighty. This is Lord Jesus. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked, and they see his shame. And he gathered them together in a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air. And there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, It is done. And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth. So mighty an earthquake and so great. And the great city was divided into 3 parts. And the cities of the nations fell. And great Babylon came in remembrance before God, to give unto her the cup of wine of the fierceness of his wrath. And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. And there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent. And men blasphemed God because of the plague of hail, for the plague thereof was exceeding great. Every stone about the weight of a talent. And men blasphemed God because of the plague of hail. You know, this is someone, I need to say, I'm going to stop this right now. This is someone that blasphemes God. This is, I'm just going to say just how I see it in the spirit. A man that blasphemes God. And their talent, their talent, they're gifted. Every stone about the weight of a talent. Your talent shouldn't be weighed down, but it's because, and it's coming like a hailstorm, like a plague of it. Like, it's not, I don't know why I feel so heavy. This is weird. This is crazy. You have to understand, I don't have a Bible anymore. I haven't kept up with it in a long time, but if that's what the Holy Spirit said, and it's literally in sync with every vision the Lord just gave me and every conversation that just popped up. Wow. What's next? Visions of doom. I'm not reading this, I'm sorry. That's Revelation 17 if you want to read it. Songs of deliverance. Okay, we're going to go into Revelation 19. And after these things I heard a great voice of much people in heaven saying, Alleluia! Salvation and glory and honor and power unto the Lord our God. For true and righteous are his judgments. For he hath judged the great whore, which did corrupt the earth with her fornication, and hath avenged the blood of his servants at her hand. And again they said, Alleluia. And her smoke rose up forever and ever. And the 24 elders and the 4 beasts fell down and worshipped God that sat on the throne, saying, Amen, Alleluia. And a voice came out of the throne, saying, Praise our God, all ye his servants, and ye that fear him, both small and great. And I heard, as it were the voice of a great multitude, and as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of mighty thunder, saying, Alleluia. For the Lord God omnipotent reigneth. Let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife has made herself ready. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white. For the fine linen is the righteousness of saints. And he saith unto me, Right, blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he said to me, These are the true sayings of God. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have testimony of Jesus. Worship God, for the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy. And then it's going to talk about the horses. And this is how you can expect Jesus to come back. And I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse. And he sat upon him, was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. And his name was called the Word of God. And the armies which were in heaven followed upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness of the wrath of God, of Almighty God. And he hath his vesture, and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. You have to understand that Lord Jesus, I need to stop. In righteousness he doth judge and make war. You have to understand that I don't know why I have to say this, but you throwing a little hissy fit, a little pissy party, you trying to get your way, let him handle it. He will make war. And who knows the enemy better than the one who judges? because he is what? Faithful and true. It's crazy. Oh my gosh. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. I'm going to tell you that when I received the Holy Spirit, his eyes were as a flame of fire. And I remember I looked at this woman, and the Holy Spirit was right behind me. That's the crown. I've shown pictures of it. The Holy Spirit is the crowning. And what did this? The Holy Spirit said this woman was in a. I had full consciousness, and it was so insane. It was so supernatural. Like I knew things that I shouldn't have known, right? Because he's omnipotent, Lord God Almighty. She was in a conference room talking about you, but talking evil, as if she knew you. And then next thing you know, there was flames in my eyes. I had a mask on. It was like COVID season. I had a mask on. And then all of a sudden I looked at her and she was gasping for air. She was terrified looking into my eyes. And I remember, God, please, they're just words. God, please stop. God, please stop. I didn't even know the bitch. But that's how much his eyes were a flame of fire. That was God working through me to show me, if you're real. Because the kids knew her. My kids knew her. They were saying hi. Whatever. And the Lord's like, no, it's not whatever. The Lord took that personal. The Lord snatched breath. The breath. I gave you breath, and you chose to do evil with it. I'll take it away. That's all him. See, and I come from a world where I came from a world where words are words, they don't hurt, right? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt, right? Childish shit. But there comes a time where you become an adult and people use their tongue for evil, and words hurt now. That's why my thought process was like, God, it's not that serious. To God, it's serious. Every time they speak evil on your name, to God, it's serious. Every time someone acts like they know you and they don't know you, to God, it's serious. Wow. And he treadeth the winepress in fierceness and wrath of Almighty God. And he had on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. That is true. That is very true. Man. I was scared for that woman. I was like, dang, she's gonna die. God, stop. And I knew who was doing it. It was God. And I was talking to God. I was right with the Holy Spirit. God, stop. God, stop. Please stop. God, you're gonna kill her. Stop. It's not that serious. God, please. Boom. Gave her breath. And in that moment, she received what? Judgment. But guess what? That judgment also gave her deliverance. Because we were both in sync to know exactly what she did. Huh. Isn't that amazing for someone who never read the Bible? For someone who was raised Roman Catholic and they turned 17 and then stopped going to church. For someone who was so against God, who wanted to be a scientist and duplicate people and clone people and wanted to be a mad scientist. Someone who had their heart so set against God's natural beauty that I wanted to be in control. but I still had a pure heart. If God is real, show me you're real. If God is real, then come through. God, if you're real, I test God so many times. No, that wasn't God, that was me. He gonna let you keep thinking that. He gonna let you keep thinking that. Till the one day that it's not you. The one day it's not your strength. The one day. I don't know who that's for. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Just like King Nebuchadnezzar, he'll humble you. And then after that, you can read visions of glory in Revelation 20. Wow. This is insane. For someone like Jhoany. God, if you're real, then make it so. God, if you're real, then XYZ. Okay. And blessed are ye. Blessed are ye, for ye believe, but ye did not see. And sometimes maybe you need to see to believe. That's all you. You got to take that to God. God, I can't wait till I die. God, I feel like I've already died like 4 lifetimes now. Like, God, the suffering on earth is immense. Where you at? I don't know why I'm speaking like this, but like it's very natural. Like, don't think that Jhoany hasn't had resentment against God. Like, God, if you're real, you wouldn't have allowed me to get my ass beat. God, if you're real, why do you withhold judgment on earth? Like, what the fuck? God, if you're real, and he's real. He's real. Why does he not put an end to it? Really? I was gonna say because he likes it, but he just said he doesn't like it. I can hear him. Okay. No, he doesn't like it, but I don't know. Some days I'm like the way he... I don't know. One time I had a vision of like a bunch of people who died. And to him, I was like, God, do you not see all like the blood spilled on earth? And I swear I saw like a faucet. Like, he opened a faucet, and for him it was like a brew of wine. I was like, what the fuck? I'm telling you, like, and I'm telling you the truth. Like, God has a... You've heard people say it. God has a dark sense of humor. Like, to him, it was like big deal. And the ones who are innocent and who were like casualties in the aftermath or whatever, the ones who were caught in the crossfire, like, yeah, I got them afterwards. You don't think that's a little psychotic, God? No, he runs it. The only way you get, like, I don't know why I have to say, like, I have to talk about peace on earth, but like, if you're looking for peace on earth, you're talking about the Garden of Eden. I don't know who that's for, but you have to understand that in heaven is like the Garden of Eden. In heaven, I didn't have to worry about anyone coming through my window to break in. I didn't have to worry about... There was no need for food. There was light. But there was also no darkness. It was weird. It was like being in this, like, I don't want to say like Twilight Zone. But like, I was gold. Like, I could see like the crevices in my hand. Like, I could see the imprint on my nail. Like, I was hollow gold. I was like, what the... And then the man that was laying next to me at the time, which was my boyfriend, he was gold too. Like, I saw his hand. I was like, oh my gosh, we're both gold. There was no fear. It was all love. Can I sleep? okay, I want to sleep though. And I close my eyes. Like, I don't know. It seems kind of bright. There's no darkness though. I closed my eyes and I was able to sleep. That's what heaven is like. Peace. It's pure peace. There's no desire for food though. That's something down here. And here's the thing. Normally to hear God, you need to fast. Oh my gosh. If you go to my earlier videos on YouTube, like early videos, and I'm just jumping around like in this Bible, going back and forth, those are the videos you want to watch where I'm literally like it's a live video just like this, and I can hear God. He had me on a detox, coffee, tea, water. Never drink tea in my life. Lord Jesus drinks tea? Alright, fine. Be like Jesus. Fine, I'll drink tea. Coffee, tea, water. Ate nothing but organic food. Stuck in a house. No car. 8 months. No kids. No friends. No family. 8 months. Just me and God. I could hear him so clearly. I'm telling you, food is something that's an earthly thing. In heaven, there was no desire for food. There's no desire to go to the bathroom. I didn't have any tattoos on me. My body was... I mean, if that's what the Lord deems as perfection, I could see that. It was a glorious body. I still had like my face though. Like I still had my face. I still had long hair. That was peace. You're not gonna get peace on earth. The only thing you're gonna get on earth is the peace that surpasses all understanding. You're gonna look crazy when you're indulging in the peace of Jesus. I don't know who that's for, but the peace that surpasses all understanding. How are you so calm right now? Do you not understand that this needs to be paid? I don't know why I have to say that. And it's like, it'll get figured out. That's what the devil wants. The devil wants to overburden you with debt. The devil wants to overburden you with bills. The devil wants to overwork you to the point of exhaustion and death. But the peace that surpasses all understanding, to know that, no, I hold a good job. No, I have a good career. No, I worked for mine and this is what's left over. Now we're going to have to work with it because that's all I got. You put the devil in his place. Because you have to understand that the devil has no intention to stop his greed. It's never enough. I remember I had a vision like that. It's never enough. What did I say? I said, in this vision, I was making a $5 million transaction. And I remember I said $5 million isn't enough, and I was shooting for 12. What happens then? That's Satan, right? $12 million isn't enough. $20 million isn't enough. And then that's why you have these ultra wealthy, disgustingly rich people their private jets cost $200 million. They're in the billionaires. I'll never forget that vision. So yeah, you have to understand that you're going to have the peace that surpasses all understanding. And you're going to look crazy for it. That's all you're going to get on earth till you get to heaven. And I hope that me telling you about, I had to die for it. I had to be born again. I had to suffer for it. But I hope that it brings you peace, knowing what waits for you on the other side. Knowing that once upon a time, man had a lifespan of, like 800 years? And the Lord said no more. No more. Man will only live up to 120 years. He even shortened it for us. I don't have anything else for you. I needed to come online and just do a spiritual dump. What is this? Hold on. The new heaven and earth. Yeah. I'm not reading any of it. I'm speaking straight from the Spirit. I'm speaking straight from my own experience of being there and being with God. Here's the thing. Was Jhoany like this before? Fuck no. Forgive me. No. Jhoany never cared about God. Jhoany never cared about, right? That's what it means when God is raising up a generation of Christians unlike any other. I'm willing to die for it. I'm willing to die on it that I met Jesus. I'm willing to die on it that Jesus Walks isn't just a song, that he's real. I'm willing to die on it that there's heaven and hell, and that you may your God save you on your day. I'm willing to die on it. I gave my whole life to it. Some people think I'm crazy. You hear voices in your head? I see the Holy Spirit. Fuck. I see the angels. You guys can't see them. Oh, yeah, now, yeah, you're schizophrenic. I'm not fucking schizophrenic. It takes a solid person to give up everything. And imagine that as a scientist, right, who works in the medical field. Everything is based off what we see, off fact. Nah, Virgin Mary is legit. She had Jesus Christ in the womb and she was a virgin. The Holy Spirit came to me and that's what got her pregnant. I saw it. I literally experienced it for myself, but I wasn't pregnant by the Holy Spirit. I was just crowned by the Holy Spirit. Amen. So yeah, you gotta understand, I gave up everything. People turned on me for it. People didn't want to be associated with me anymore. People didn't want to associate themselves with me anymore. I lost everything for the kingdom of God. He said it. He's going to raise up a generation of Christians unlike any other. And now I'm a prophet, priestess. I didn't choose this. It chose me. You think 1:05 a.m. on a Saturday night? If Jhoany wasn't with her kids driving back from a basketball game or some kind of event, and I'm by myself and I was in good spirits before God, I'd be turning up right now. I'd be dressed up going to a bar or a club, living my best life. But instead, here I am, praising God, giving you the word, giving you revelation, giving you testimony, being Saint Jhoany. So, is there anything else that I have to say? Yeah, understand that the peace that surpasses all understanding is going to be one that the world cannot receive. That's scripture. The world can't receive it. Alright, I don't have anything else. Alright, I just want to clock out. So, I love you with the love of Christ. What does that mean? It means that if I had to put everything aside for a moment to administer to you the word of God, because it's more powerful than anything, and he listens to my prayers, that I wholeheartedly cover you with the blood of Christ. Amen. And that I wish you nothing but prosperity and closer to the gates of heaven in his holy and mighty name. That pure side of Jhoany, I love you with the love of Christ, that it comes through in your life. That's it. I don't want you to go to hell. I don't want you to be burning. And there's different ways to burn on earth too, right? Envy, jealousy, waking up in rage. Those are ways to burn. Your spirit is vexed. So yeah, I definitely would. I don't want you to go to hell. That's what it means when I say I love you with the love of Christ. That's the only one who could redeem you of any sin. Any and every sin. Except blaspheme against the Holy Spirit. You heard it. You may blaspheme against man, but you may not blaspheme against the Holy Spirit. And I received the Holy Spirit. So be real careful how you speak on my name when I'm speaking in accordance with the Holy Spirit. You know, I never mocked church. I never mocked God. No, I'm sorry. I did mock like God's people. But I never like mocked God himself. I'm like, look at those, look at them praying with their hands up thinking it's going to do something. Good for them. Good for them. Now I'm that same worshiper. Like, God had to humble me. But I didn't attack them. I just said, let them be. Like, if that's how they want to waste their time is at church, then let them be. Let them be. They're not hurting anyone, right? So what does it matter? Let them be. That's how I felt about it. That's still how I feel about it. Because sometimes I don't even like going to church, if you have to know the truth. I've met Satan in church more times than I can count. You're being used by the devil. You have the spirit of gossip upon you. You have the spirit of greed all over you. Look at you. You're not content with anything that you got. And you have so many blessings and you don't even know. Because you have been protected from misery, or you think you're protecting yourself from misery. And you're so focused on the little that I got. Because it's so much bigger. You think that if you get it, it'll be so much bigger to your life. As long as I don't have it. Little do you know that sometimes some people receive what they were not destined to receive, and they leave emptier than when they came, just so God can show them. That's why you really have to be at peace with God. Chasing my career, chasing my ventures isn't going to make you a better person. Right? Stay in your own lane. God, where are you going with this? Love with the love of Christ. Go read Revelation 21. I do not wish for you to go to hell. No. I wish for you to get closer to God. Alright? That's all that means. In the purest, in my purest form. And sometimes you might need to hear a word of God busting down your enemies. God gonna do this, God gonna do that, Sometimes. It's nice to hear it. Like, God, you really did that? Oh, shit. No way, Lord. Lord, you doing that on my behalf? There's no way. There's no way. And God will do it. Just mind your own fucking business. Sometimes I don't even want to know. It's to a point where, like, I don't even want to know what God did to you. I don't even want to know how you're suffering. I still suffer, just in ways that you guys don't know about. So, I love you with the love of Christ. May He give you the peace that surpasses all understanding. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to love God, because no one's going to have your back like God. No one's going to do it for you like God. He's going to send people to do it for you, but like no one's going to do it with like the intention of like, no, this person's worth it. All right? I love you. I love you. I love you. I don't know who needs to hear that, but like God loves you. Like He loves you. Like I love you. No. I don't care what you did. That's God. I love you. Yeah, I know. You fucked up. I forgive you. I don't want to hear it. Receive me. I love you. Like, that's God. Like, that's really how He is. It's so unconditional. All right. Good night. Bye-bye. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Bye.